The innovation and startup process isn't just about technical development. Every successful enterprise or product is the result of repeated negotiations. These negotiations align with different viewpoints of technologists, designers, manufacturers, customers, and investors, and help identify areas of agreement. And negotiation demands empathy and emotional intelligence. These are crucial for balancing competing priorities and focusing on what truly matters. In this film, we'll explore the importance of and processes behind negotiation in innovation and enterprise. We'll also examine how negotiation shapes a startup's core mission and vision, and how it influences product design, features, and performance to meet customer expectations. And we'll consider how negotiation creates alignment across an organisation, encompassing team members, customers, and investors. First, let's define negotiation. A negotiation is a discussion between two or more parties aimed at resolving points of difference with the aim of reaching an agreement that all parties find acceptable. It's important to emphasise that it's not an argument, at least not if it's done properly. Instead, it's a collaborative effort to identify and maximise a win-win outcome. Successful negotiations give each party the space to succeed. Negotiation is an essential skill that helps entrepreneurs and their teams answer fundamental questions. These include why, for whom, and how. Each side in a negotiation will naturally begin with the aim of achieving the best possible outcome. However, every negotiation takes place within a relationship. Effective negotiation demands not only assertiveness, but also emotional intelligence and fairness. These qualities are crucial for maximising agreement and maintaining a positive relationship. To illustrate the concept of negotiation, you can use the Venn diagram in the learner resource as a visual metaphor. Ask your students, how would the diagram change if there's less agreement, no agreement at all, or more agreement? What if a third party is involved? Encourage your students to consider if aiming for joint success helps to build and strengthen key relationships, such as with suppliers. You could also discuss what might happen if each negotiation in a business scenario is unsuccessful or favours one side more than the other. Negotiation is embedded in innovation and occurs at every stage of the technology development and design process. It begins with agreeing on what the co-founders aim to achieve. At first, it's necessary to apply divergent thinking to generate ideas. During brainstorming, it's crucial not to judge ideas, but instead build and improve upon them. However, negotiation is necessary to define and clarify that the team's interests are aligned. Is the team aiming to create technical innovation, a technology push, or seeking new ways to satisfy customers' needs, a market pull? Negotiation helps a team define who matters, what's important, and what to ignore. This negotiation process continues as you evaluate competing priorities when developing a viable product and design, balancing multiple technological and financial requirements. Negotiation creates and maintains alignment within the team and between the enterprise and its customer market. This supports an effective and energised team that works towards the right goal and is an appealing prospect for investors. Highlight to your students that the first negotiation for any startup is to reach agreement on the fundamental questions about the business. Why are we here? What are we here to do? For whom? And how? Discuss why it's important to agree on priorities before brainstorming and to align these with the core questions about the business. Ask students to suggest areas for negotiation in the product design process, for example, material, features, and performance. Who should have a say in these decisions and why? Let's take a look at how a structured approach to negotiation makes a win-win outcome more likely. A negotiation should begin with the right intention to be fair, build trust, and have due regard for the other party. Before a negotiation begins, you'll need to do some detailed preparation. Know the pertinent facts, understand the best case goal, the acceptable worst case scenario, any red lines that can't be crossed, and the reasons for these. Consider the other party's points of view and likely goals. Begin the negotiation by clarifying the process and any rules that need to be followed so both parties understand how the negotiation will work. The heart of the negotiation process involves trading alternatives and compromises that help both parties maximise the areas of agreement. This can happen in one or multiple meetings where each party reviews goals and boundaries to find a mutually acceptable solution. It requires an open mind and a commitment to seeking creative solutions that can sidestep obstacles. The negotiation should conclude with a formal agreement that clarifies the exact nature of the terms or decision, which both parties can refer to as the agreed plan is implemented. Enterprise skills form the foundation for successful negotiating. These include planning, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. Strong emotional intelligence is essential. So is the ability to be assertive and communicate a position with honesty and confidence, but without aggression. Ultimately, a negotiation should aim for agreements that strengthen, not erode relationships with colleagues, investors, and customers. It's helpful to illustrate the process using real but simple examples of negotiations students have had, such as asking for an extension on an assignment. You can ask students to share examples of when they've been involved in negotiations, for example, how a project's focus was agreed or how the workload and roles were agreed. It may also be helpful to further explore emotional intelligence and people skills such as listening, self-control, emotional regulation, communication, and empathy. Let's explore a case study you can use with your students. This is also in the learner resource. Eva is a materials engineer who has developed a new form of alloy lattice with unique properties. Eva has obtained patents on the material and its production. Through her personal network, Eva knows Johannes, who works in the chemicals industry and understands potential customer needs for products that could use the alloy lattice to deliver new forms of customer value. Eva and Johannes have agreed to be co-founders of a new startup to develop and apply this new technology. They need to meet to agree their vision and mission, and then meet again with a potential investor who can provide seed funding to develop the technology and prototype product. After presenting this case study, you can engage your students with these tasks and questions. Bring the discussions to life by asking learners to play the roles of Eva and Johannes and try to negotiate each person's percentage ownership of the startup. What different points of view or ideas might Eva and Johannes bring to the meeting? And what red lines may they be unwilling to cross? What should Eva and Johannes seek to understand about the investor? Teaching negotiation skills to your students is vital in all areas of enterprise. It will help them develop crucial capabilities for success, enabling them to navigate intricate discussions, establish strong relationships, and attain mutually beneficial results.